Man, oh my God. And I don't take away from the now because I'm a big person on telling anybody you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now in life.
Mm,
That's physically, geographically, mentally, spiritually, you know what I mean, mentally, all that good shit, emotionally.
mm.
Because if you were supposed to be anywhere else, that's where you would be. But right now, where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be in life. So please be in the moment. Be in the moment. Because wherever you think you're supposed to be, where you're considering to be the goal, that's going to change when you get there. And the success is never greater than the journey. Never.
Real Talk with Star Scorpio. So, my guest today is a talented artist. His cadence reminds me of the hip hop rap style I grew up with back in the days. I was introduced to him on IG from one of my former guests, my previous guest, Wavy Spice '01. Once I seen one of his posts, I was like, I gotta reach out to this gentleman. Every post he puts up on IG, whether it be dropping bars or dropping knowledge, is captivating. Celebrity, welcome to Real Talk with Star Scorpio. How you doing today?
Peace, 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 brother. Good morning. How you doing? Great day. Great day. How you doing, man? Thank you for having me.
Yes, doing well. I'm waiting for you to come on this podcast, so this is nice. So on Real Talk, we like to build a timeline first, right? So let me know first, where were you born and raised?
Originally born and raised Houston, Texas.
Mm.
Like my whole life, man. Born and raised. I'm an 80s baby.
Yep.
So, I've been here pre-video game, post-video game,
Yeah, yeah,
pre-internet, post-internet. So I've watched the world. I've literally had a chance to watch the world change.
yeah. So yeah, I'm a 70s kid, so I'm 49. So you're in your what, late 30s?
I'll be 41 in August.
Yeah, you don't look it, man. You-
I get that. I literally told this lady. I just had a recent show at a boat party a couple weeks back.
Mm.
A young lady approached me and we were just having a conversation and she asked me, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I said I'll be 41 in August. And she cursed at me. Like she cursed at me. She's like, man, stop lying. I'm like, nah, I'm serious. She's like, oh my God. She said, I would have never. She said, I would have never thought you were this old. She said, you don't, yeah. She's like, black don't crack. I
Yeah,
said, nah,
yeah.
I don't crack. I said, it might stretch a little bit, but it ain't gonna crack.
True. But even on that topic, you make sure to eat the right foods.
Yeah, man, I don't eat meats. And if I do, I may eat some seafood here and there. But yeah, I'm not a vegan,
Mm.
but I definitely choose the better options. Let's just say that. I choose the better options, man. I attest it all too. When they ask me, I say, you know what? I say I drink a lot of water,
Mm.
I smoke a lot of weed, and
Mm.
I stay in my own lane. I
Yeah.
don't worry about nobody else's business unless it crosses mine. Other
Mm.
than that, if minding your own person was a picture or a person, I
Mm.
would be me. Minding your own business is a person. I'm minding my own business.
Yes, yes. Thanks for sharing that. And even still on the subject, I want to talk about like your childhood too. But since we're
Mm.
on this subject, because you seem like a relaxed person and you don't let things get to you. But was that innate in you when you were younger? Or is
Nope.
this something you transformed into in
Oh
your
no.
older ages?
This is who I've evolved into, man. Like I'll be very transparent. In my 20s, I was not this person. and,
Yeah.
and honestly, I've been married and divorced. In my 30s, in my early 30s, so I'll say I was not this person. So
Mm.
I've become this person,
Mm.
and I just try to make sure that that's the person that I present when I'm out because I know what I want people to perceive of me and I know how I want to be perceived. I want to be seen and spoken of in my absence, even in my presence. So, you know, I get it all the time now when I'm out. Like when I was at an event, this lady, she approached me. She's like, are you having a good time? Like I'm foreign. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
foreign or something. She asked, are you having a good time? I was like, I'm enjoying. I said, yeah, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. She's like, okay. She said, you look very peaceful. Like you just look very calm. I say, well, I know how to enjoy myself without getting too caught up in the moment.
Mm. Wow.
I enjoy myself. Like I don't, my facial expressions don't always give away what my actual emotion is. A
Yeah.
lot of the time,
Hmm.
my family, like people I've dated, they're like, you're so hard to surprise. You're so hard to do something because when you do it, you're always like, thank you.
Hmm.
You never just like, oh my God, it's such a, I said, I'm just growing into a more calm person. Like I'm receiving things in a different way now.
Hmm.
I'm receiving them with an opportunity to actually view, take advantage of studying it. Like I want to know that I like it before I give that, oh my God, response. I may not like it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's the word though. Peaceful. Like your face looks peaceful. But I like this topic. So I'm even gonna ask you, because it happened to me too. When I was younger, I had a lot of anger in me. And what I think happened, it showed on my face. And
Hmm.
as I got older, my face has softened. And when people see me, they always say you have some kind of aura. Peter, you always have some kind of aura. But my face has softened. But I want to ask you, did that show on your face? If you had a lot of built up things in you when you were younger and then you're transforming now, did your face change as well?
I actually know I became this way because I learned to let go.
Mm,
I had a lot of anger towards my dad. I had anger, just frustration with life. It could have just been trauma that I hadn't even personally experienced, but just passed down. But over time, what I've learned to do is just let things be. Just let things be. Like I learned, like the best way for me to be happy, anybody, not just me, the best way for anybody in life to be happy is to just let other people do whatever it is that they're gonna do. Not don't care about people, but don't worry about it. If it does not directly impact you,
mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
It's life is gonna be life in every single day. The one thing life is gonna do is life, and the one thing life can guarantee you is you're not gonna make it out this thing alive. So enjoy the time while you here. Like just enjoy the time. Like don't get caught up in the what ifs when I'm not here. Cause guess what? You're not even gonna be here to know. You're not like just enjoy this time and I promise you will be a lot more happier. Don't worry about things. If you know you're gonna be taken care of. I say this to people all the time. I say, I'm always well taken care of.
Mhm.
I'm never not taken care of. I'm never not okay. I'm always gonna be and I speak that as an affirmation,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm always well taken care of. I'm never without. Like I am never without. I am always blessed with more than what I need and enough to share.
Mhm.
Always, always, always. I am never, never not without and never not without enough to share. Like always, and I always speak that.
Wow. Well said. Well said. Um, so I like this topic a lot. So you're a different person now. I want to get into where you are now because you grew up in Houston, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Dallas
Born and
now.
raised, man.
But you're in Dallas now. But now in your younger years, did you have um a mentor or someone to look up to, or are you well read where you read how to transform into this person, or was it influences in your life, was it influences by the music, which we're going to get into later? What was it that made you this way?
The desire to want to be better.
Mm,
Really, realistically, it was that. Like no one sat me down and taught me how to channel my anything. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, okay, I'm do I want to be better? Like that was the question I had to ask myself. Do I want to be better? Am I just talking shit? Like, am I just saying I don't want to be in a bad spot and still doing everything that it's gonna take to keep me in a bad spot? Like, what am I doing? Like, what's my thing? So I self-motivated myself. I'm trying to scoot up out this crazy sun. I self-motivated myself to really just be better. Like, be better. Like, you gotta want that too, though.
yeah.
Like, you have to want that. You have to discipline yourself. And it's not. And I'm learning every day. Like, it's not a flip of the switch.
Mm,
Like it's really not a flip of the switch, man. Like every single day you get a new challenge. Like every single day you wake up and and I learned that every day is already preconditioned, right?
mm,
So what are you gonna do about it? Because it's not like you're gonna wake up and repaint the day.
mm,
You can only paint your day. You can't change what's already set to happen. Those things are gonna happen. So I've learned it's not about what happens to me, what expresses or what confirms or what defines my growth is how I respond to it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like you can talk crazy to me all day,
Mm.
but my level of maturity is defined based on whether or not I decide to jump into that argument with you,
Right.
or if I decide to try to diffuse it and walk away
Right.
and turn it around, because that's growth.
Mm.
I know me in my 20s.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, we not diffusing shit. It's up. It's up. I'm gonna try to max you out.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Again, once you know who you want people to see you as and what you want to be seen as, and even yourself, I know what I want to think of myself. And
Mm.
that's what helps me and motivates me even more to grow and be better. Because even I want to see myself as others see me. Because other people see me differently than what I see myself at times.
Mm.
I may be like, man, I'm trying to be this person. I'm trying to get here. I'm trying to get there. And crazy thing is, I go places, people think I'm that person.
Yeah.
They already think I'm who I'm presenting myself to be, because that's who I'm presenting myself to be. Now, am I there yet? That's that's not up for debate. We're not here to test that,
Right.
because what's key? Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Your perception of me is already, you know what I mean? I already got you. I
Yeah.
got you. And that's what I need. And that's why I keep it that way. I'm not a I gotta be everywhere with everybody person. I'm a socialite. When
Mm.
people see me, they're really excited to see me, because they're like, damn, I don't know when I'm gonna see you again. And the last time I saw you, man, I loved it.
Yeah.
Where you gonna be next? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's one of those types of things. Now I'm appreciative of that. A good friend of mine, Red January, she taught me about that. She taught me how to not be so everywhere all the time, but still be able to have a presence in places. You know?
Mm. Preach. So, did you notice? You said you had a lot of resentment against your pops, right?
Yeah.
So, what happened later in life then? How is that relationship now?
I was you, you know how things come to you when it's time.
Yeah.
I, I was on social media. This was back in 2000, like 15, 14 or something.
Mhm.
I'm online, you know what I mean? And I heard somebody say, man, the best way to get your to have a conversation with somebody, a tough conversation, is to write everything down that you want to say.
Mhm.
And I you know, of course they went through the explanation of why, and I'm like, dang, why does that make sense? And they said the reason I say that is because if you write it down and give it to them, they can't interrupt you.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's nothing that they. It's not a back and forth. It's not a conversation to be had. It's ledger to be read.
Mhm.
It's me and my emotions and why I'm here with you on paper. So there is no confusion of the thoughts. There is no misreading. There, I mean, I mean, there's no confusion. You know, you can't misscrew the words on paper.
Mhm.
And so when I got that, I wrote my dad. I wrote my dad, man. I wrote my dad like a long ass letter, and
Yeah.
I mailed it to him. You know what I mean? Like, I mailed it to him, and I waited like 2 or 3 weeks. That way, I know he had it.
Okay.
And I got a phone call, and he invited me to back to come with to Houston and have a conversation with him. And I had opportunity to have that conversation with him. Now, I'm not saying that conversation fixed everything.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that conversation was the catalyst. It was the segue to what we've become now, which is still not necessarily the best of friends, but we're definitely not where we used to be, and we're definitely in a better direction, because we weren't going nowhere then.
Yeah.
But now that he has a clear senses and understanding as to how I got here and why I feel the way I do, what I feel like he's done or not done to
Mhm.
bring me to this point, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was after. And it wasn't, and whether I got the response or not, my objective was to simply have him provided with the awareness so I can move on,
Mhm.
so I can start to grow, so I can let that weight go, so I can stop dragging that shit into relationships and stop treating people fucked up because I feel fucked up, you know, and I don't know how to change my shit.
Yeah.
But knowing now, the only way to change it is to change it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done. And so now I like crazy thing you asked, we talking about this. He literally just texted me 2 days ago. Like we text each other now.
Wow.
He texts me, he say, what did he say? He said, I'm just checking in with you, old man. He said, don't make too much money out there. You know what I mean? Like I've never gotten those texts before then, and it's just the endearment of it.
Mm,
It's just the endearment of it. You know what I mean? And so now I get it, and so we get it, and so
yeah.
now we're able to, like I went to our family reunion last year on my dad's side, and
Mm,
we hung out, sat around, talked, laughed. I helped him with the pit and cook and all. It was a good thing, and
yeah.
we weren't doing that before. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So, but again, it was because I wanted it to be different, and that's the only way that I was gonna be better in life and not have those things harboring and harping on me and weighing me down.
Mm.
So it
So,
just it uplifted me.
so would you say you're in a place of healing then? Is that a good term to
That
use?
is a very, very great definition that is a great way to define where I am in life. I am.
Yeah. Wow. Some podcasts I just love listening to people dropping knowledge, and this is one of those podcasts again. Um, I want to go back
Peace.
to school days now, man. How were you in school, man? What did you excel in? Did you like school?
I liked going to school for the social aspect of it. Like I did not like school as the work. Like I was like writing was my thing. Like writing, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go, let's go, let's go. Writing, I'm on your ass. We gonna write for days.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't like to read so much. But when I was in school, high school, I guess, because that's when it kind of matters, I'll say,
Right.
I was in theater. Theater and stage play is what got me in the school, man. Like I got drawn into theater, I want to say my sophomore year. And we were able to do when they told me that I can do plays and get out of class. Oh, I
Yeah,
was up. I was ready. We can do that. Like I can you know what I mean. I had drama for a whole period,
yeah,
and I had it like at the end of the day, and I got a chance to get out to go do stuff, stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I can do this, Jack. Like we out of school a lot. So
yeah.
I'm ready for that. But I was really a class clown, man. I played basketball. I played football in middle school, but I played basketball in high school.
Mm,
I mean, again, I was a class clown, man. I had fun. I really enjoyed school. Um, I was a part of a crew of people that threw parties.
mm,
So we threw like a bunch of the big parties for like middle school, our high schools. I'm so sorry. We were throwing parties not just on my side of Houston, but from the north side of Houston all the way to the south side of Houston. Like we threw big step show parties, big after parties for major football games. You know what I mean? Things like that. So we I've been in the party scene and having fun my whole life. I want to say when it comes to stuff like that,
mm.
school was just one of those things that I was just like, okay, I have to do it. I'll go, and I just so happened to find theater, and
Yeah,
that made me want to go.
yeah, yeah. I find that, yeah, I was the class clown too, but I wish back in the days I had more. Like, I went to school in the 80s and the 90s in high school, but I wish there was more teachers that could kind of see and visualize each student in a career path, because I was that funny guy. And if someone said to me, you know what, you can follow this path to do stand-up comedy, which I did stand-up comedy for 8 years, but that's later in my life. But if I had that direction, because like you, I like drama. And there's some kids that like math, some of the kids that like English. And it's funny that you say that, because when we get into the rap, um, I interviewed Osa the Healer. He's from Washington, and he said he was crazy. Writing was his thing back in high school, but that direction. So I say all that to say, did you have any teachers that mentored you or that guided you, or any older friends at that time that said, you know what, I see something in this person, and let me give them some guidance?
That's how I got into theater. Believe it or not, like the theater director, he was new to the school. And I would play like I'm a class clown. And he said, you know what? He said, I need you to come to my class. And I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Anybody that sounds like they need me to come to their class don't sound like I need to be in that shit. Like I'm like, nah, he's trying to do something else. I don't want to do that, sir. I
Yeah.
just want to come to school, do what I got to do, go home. And he's
Yeah.
like, nah, I really want you to come to my class. And so he brought me to the class, man, and he stayed on me about it. Like he really stayed on me about it. He assigned me roles. He got me into different plays, and so I actually became one of his students. So I was in his class.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about this, man, like throughout this whole entire course, like we had the luck, man. We were blessed, man. We were a very blessed cast. We were the only school. My senior year, I didn't go to prom.
Yeah, I didn't go
I
either.
didn't go to my prom. The reason I didn't go to my prom was because we were laid out two options.
Mm.
We had the option because we had won and advanced to state for theater and stage play.
Okay.
The first black school to ever do it.
Wow.
So we advanced to state. Now the thing about that was they said, so you got the option to either go to prom or we take this trip to state and go win this shit.
Mm.
And I didn't go to prom. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So we go to state and we didn't win. We did not win, but we placed
Mhm.
third.
Nice.
First black school ever. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So we were up with that. The thing about it, man, when we were done and all of and the curtains closed, I was like, that's it. I'm good. Like I had fun. I'm out of school. Let's go. Like I'm grown. Let me find me a job. He's like, nah, I want you to meet this guy.
Mm.
I was like, man, fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the guy?
Mm.
The guy ended up being the theater director for Prairie View A&M, Charles Giplin, from the
Okay.
Charles Giplin players. If
Okay.
you look them up, man, if you ever look them up, man, Charles Giplin players of Prairie View A&M,
Mm.
that man is fucking brilliant, bro.
Yeah.
That brother is brilliant. He actually came to my house, to my apartment,
Mm.
and drove me to PV. Did all my paperwork, financial aid, registration. We sat in his office and did that.
Wait, so
Yeah,
because I'm from Toronto, fill me in for a bit here. So first of all, what I want you to shout out the school that you were talking about, the black school you're talking about, and
yeah,
then
that's the college. That's the HBCU, Prairie View A&M
it's
University.
HBCU, historical black. Okay, and then PV. You said he drove you to PV,
Prairie View. He
Prairie
drove me
View.
to the college. He came to my doorstep,
Mhm.
drove me to the college,
Yes.
helped me fill out all my FAFSA, financial aid, registration, course selection, did everything just to make sure that I didn't go to waste.
Wow. Wow.
And that's how I ended up in college because I was not going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't going. It wasn't even a thought on my mind. Like I was like, nah, I ain't got no money for that. I ain't going.
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, I got there, and like my cousin was there.
Mhm.
Like my close classmates were there. I'm like, dang, y'all was going to college? Like y'all
Yeah.
ain't told me
Wait, so
nothing.
you didn't know they were gonna be there, you're saying? Okay.
I had no clue. Like, wasn't nobody talking to me about college?
Yeah.
Like, they weren't telling me. Like, niggas wasn't telling me. They was like, "Oh, I'm trying to be something in life." Like, they didn't share that with me,
Okay.
and so I just so magically showed up, and I'm like, "Cuzzo, what's up?
Yeah.
My god sister down here." Like, what? I'm telling you, like, I got people down here, bro. I'm like, wow, this is so crazy, and so. I definitely got down there and enjoyed myself. So I was like, okay, I didn't think I was gonna be like knowing anybody. So I was like, but I got down there and I was good.
Yeah, different feeling then. And how long were you there for?
For 4 years, 2000, 2004.
And what did you take? What was the
I was in theater, business management, and communication.
okay, okay. And some people back in the days was like, even in high school or in college, people like, I'm taking this course, but it didn't do anything for me. And I was one of those people. But later in life, I draw on some of the things I learned in
There you
college,
go.
whether if it is small or big. I was like, wow, I'm like this because I learned this fact or I learned this history or something. So how do you feel about that?
I'm gonna tell you what's a funny story about that. So, right, you know how when you're in class and you're a student, you're middle school, whatever, and your teacher's like talking to you, and you're like, man, and you think to yourself, like, I am never gonna use this shit. Like, why are we having this conversation, bro? Like, what are we here? Why what are we doing? Like, why are we not in bed? Like, come on. Now, this same information
Mm,
that I am thinking to myself, like, this is trash. Like, I cannot believe this. Hindsight. Now, flash forward, I'm sorry.
Mm.
Let's say 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I registered as a substitute teacher for the Dallas district.
Wow. Okay.
Why am I in class teaching these students all that crap that I kept saying I was never going to use? Family, I am literally in the classroom
Yeah.
listening to myself, i.e., these students, while I'm attempting to explain this information to them. And
Uh-huh.
they're asking me, like, teach, like, Mr. Like, what's this for? Like, why do I gotta hear? Like, what do we gotta do this for? Like, this is so crazy. Like, why? Like, when we gonna ever use? I say, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. And I was a sub, so of course and I'm as an artist, I show my students my work and my music, so they love me. Like the students, like freaking love me. So
Right.
I had a really good rapport with them. And
Mm.
so I share this story with them. I'm like, y'all, man, like when I was a kid, I'm telling y'all, I was in seventh grade, sixth grade. Like, man, this is stupid. I don't want to, this is dumb. I don't even get it. I say, but y'all think about it now. Yeah, y'all see me on the gram, y'all see me on YouTube, but I'm here still hustling, like working. And guess what I got to do? Teach y'all
Mm.
the stuff that I thought that I wasn't going to need.
There you go. Yeah.
I say the light went off. I
Mm.
say some like like the more information you take in when you're thinking you don't need it,
Mm.
the more valuable, the more aware, the more you know what I mean?
Oh
It's
yeah.
like I'm presented with more because I took in more.
Mm.
And all your little light bulbs go off in those
Exactly.
aha moments. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Oh man, like
Exactly.
as an adult, when that clicks, bro, you like that's a very humbling. When people say humbling experience, that's humbling, bro.
It is.
Like that's humbling as hell. Like that really has me, and that's another reason why I'm so paceful.
Mm.
And you know what I mean? Because now I'm trying to slow shit down and catch everything
I
because I
get it.
never know what weapon
I
I'm
get
gonna
it.
need for the war.
I get it. I
And I
like.
was eating, I was taking them weapons, and this was my war. Like these students, this middle school that half the other teachers couldn't even get through to. This
Mhm.
was my war, and I had the necessary tools.
Battle ready. I like the way you outlined that though. I like the way you said that, man. That was beautiful. Tell me something. Cause I feel like I could drop anything to you and you can just tell me something about it. So let me tell you, when I was younger, I used to hear this saying, the more you know, the more you grow. And then I heard someone switch it up and they said, the more you know, the more you owe. What do you think about that?
It's your debt paid. It's your debt paid. Imagine a tree that you've nourished that gives you nothing. Imagine a child that you raise becomes successful and gives you nothing. You owe that. You owe that back. Like we're only put here to recreate. So if you're here and you're not recreating, you're not paying your debt back to you being created. You feel me? Like you owe that. And as we were saying, the more you sit your ass down and actually take in the stuff that you really want to say, why do I need this?
Mm.
When you do sit and retain it, man, you owe it so much. That's why you're in a position. I say that because I took all that in. Like, man, this is crazy. Like, why do I got it? I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here. And now I've I was positioned to be with kids, and now I see why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now, yeah, you owe that. You owe that big. Like you owe that big time, big time.
Yeah.
It's all energy. It's all an exchange. I tell a person all the time, you please use me.
Mm.
Don't misuse me.
Yeah.
But use me though. I want to feel valuable. If you can't be used, that means no one finds value in you.
Mm.
So yes, please use me. Just don't misuse me.
Yeah. Well, well said. Okay. Before we get into some music talk now, we're at the middle of the interview. I got a question for you now. This is gonna be
Okay.
interesting. This is gonna be interesting. It's a it's a would you rather question. I've asked a number of people this question and I'm getting So many different answers. Now, would you rather visit your younger self and give them advice for the future, or visit your older self and have them give you advice for what's going on right now? And
Mm.
I'm interested in this because you gave me a good lowdown of your history growing up. So I just want to see what you would say to this.
I think my older self would appreciate me so much more if my younger self would have listened to me now. So I would go back and I would go speak to my younger self because I was given so much.
Hmm.
Like I was given so much without even asking, and I took it for granted. And so I would definitely go back to my younger self and steer myself in a better direction. So that way, where I am now, even though I know where I am now is where I'm supposed to be, I still feel as though I would want to go back and better where I am now. So I would talk to my younger self and say, "Hey, man, this opportunity you just got, you eat this up, like run this. Like you're gonna love yourself for this. You know what I mean? Like run this,
Hmm.
or this class that you decided you didn't want to take and you switched out. No, 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 no. You want that. You want that information. You're gonna use that. You're gonna use that because you got this that you're gonna want to do when you get to this place.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, man, man. Oh my God. And I don't take away from the now because I'm a big person on telling anybody you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now in life.
Hmm.
That's physically, geographically, mentally, spiritually, you know what I mean, mentally, all that good shit, emotionally.
Hmm.
Because if you were supposed to be anywhere else, that's where you would be. But right now, where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be in life. So please be in the moment. Be in the moment because wherever you think you're supposed to be, where you're considering to be the goal, that's going to change when you get there. And the success is never greater than the journey. Never.
Wow. Well said.
Because we're gonna always move the goalposts. We
Yeah.
reach for like we're discussing with your podcast.
Yeah.
We're on episode, you know what I mean? You're here, but you really want to be here, right?
Right.
But
Right.
if you weren't in the mind to understand that I know where I want to be, but I'm gonna take in from each episode that I'm on now because I want to enjoy those moments. I want to be able to say when I am on episode 100 and I do have over a million followers and viewers, I want to be able to look back on these moments when I reached and get those accolades and not be so caught up in the accolade. I'm not crying about the accolade. I'm crying about the memories I have to get to the accolade. I'm crying about that night. I'm crying about that night that I was like, damn, I was so frustrated because I didn't get it. I'm crying about that night that I got that phone call from my homie and he say, bro, we got to play. I'm crying about that night I was broke as fuck thinking to myself, my dog, I just need that much right now. And I thought I would never get it. That's what I'm crying about. I'm not crying about this little shiny piece of shit I can throw away.
Jeez. This happens to be sometimes. It happened with Wavy Spice 01 and now it's happening again. Or I'm just in awe. I'm fascinated by your words. So that's why now, thanks for saying that too, though. Now, whether my guest chose their younger self or older self, this next question is about younger self. There's four things I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
What would you tell your younger self about money?
Money is not the goal. Money is just a tool to get to the goal. So don't focus on the money. Do what you love so you can love what you do. I would definitely tell myself, don't think about the money. Don't ever think about the money. Just think about the goal or what you want to use the money to do. And that's to be free.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah, definitely.
I was, I was, yo, celebrity, I can't take this, man. I think the podcast is done, man. I can't take this, man. You're mashing me up, man. You're mashing me up. Next one, man. And okay, this one's gonna be interesting because of what you told me about the history, your pops too, and all that, right?
Yeah.
What would you tell your younger self about family?
not blood don't make you family. Blood don't make you family. And don't get too caught up in thinking that family has to be what you think family is. You know, yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
think that would be a good. I think as I move through life after hearing that, I'll understand that family, blood ain't family, but also the family that does treat you like family, like treat them like family too.
Mhm. So
Yeah,
true. I had another guest say that as well too. It's so weird
yeah.
how we all draw from our experiences, and then
Hmm.
the answers to these questions vary on those past experiences when we are younger and things like.
Exactly. Yeah.
What would you tell your younger self about friends?
You don't have none. You don't have friends, man. You have associates. You have uh, people. You don't have friends, man. I say that, man. You either have family or people you do business with,
Mm.
and that's how I look at it. Like the people that I hold dear to me, I consider them family. Anybody else, man, we just do business. I'm not a I I'm not really a small talk kind of person. Like even in public, like if I'm not a small talk kind of person. I don't know where to start small talk because it's so small. Like, and you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I if I start talking, we talking.
Yeah.
So I want my time not to feel like I'm just talking just to fill a gap.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm so quiet a lot of times because you know I don't want to. I'm not a filler. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just gonna fill your gaps because you're uncomfortable around me and you don't know what to say. I'm not gonna help you have a conversation with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Same way. I feel the same way. Um, did you ever learn, before I get to this last one, did you ever learn hard lessons when it comes to quote unquote friends when you were younger? I'm talking like even when you were like 11, 12 in the schoolyard and things like that.
Yeah,
Did you learn some hard lessons,
yeah,
teenager?
hell yeah, bro. I had a crazy thing, man. I'm finding out that some of my close partners laying up with some of the girls I'm thinking I'm in a relationship with.
Mm,
Uh, some of them steal from me. You know what I mean? Like it you know you it can be weird, man. This life thing can be weird. So yeah,
yeah,
definitely, man. People will say they one thing to you, and I've learned that you don't have to base no you don't base your perception of a person on what they say.
yeah.
You base it on what they do.
Mm, so true, so
That's
true.
that's what people have taught me.
Mm,
And you have to teach people. You have to teach people how to treat you.
mm,
You teach people how to treat you, from your family to your friends and associates. You don't allow people to talk. You don't respond, so people are aware that you don't even respond to that type of, what I mean, delivery. Like you're gonna have to come. You're gonna have to have a conversation with me. We're not yelling. We're not arguing. We having a conversation. And if that's not what we're doing, then we're not talking.
okay,
You know
nice. What would you tell your younger self about love?
that is real. I would tell my younger self about love, that it is real. People really do love. Don't allow the facade that hate is so big that it overshadows love in any fight. Like love wins everything. Like um, I've allowed a lot of situations to miscrew my perception of love and what it really is. And now that I know that it exists in true form, I don't. I won't let nobody like let me take that for granted again.
Mm, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now, thanks for sharing that. That was the 4 questions. The music now. The music. So I want to know first, who are your musical influences when you were younger? So when we talk about growing up in the 80s and the 90s, we can always say, yeah, we like rap. like hip hop, but it was also the R&B. And I'm West Indian too, right? So we grew up on the soca, we grew up on the dance hall, reggae.
Ah,
So we had all the musical influences. But what were your musical influences?
man, you know what's funny, man? My very first ever rap CD that I got was for Christmas. My very first rap CD with cursing in it that I got, it was for Christmas, and it was Mac 10.
Oh, Mac 10. Okay. West Coast. Uh-huh.
Like real shit. Like my very first CD that like I got from my parent that let me know that they know I listen to music with cursing in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was Mac 10 for Christmas. I want to say we were out of town or something, but yeah, but I didn't let that weigh heavy on my music. Or, it didn't do much for me because it was so West Coast, and I'm from Texas, man. I'm from Texas, uh, but believe it or not, man, the way the music that I create now is a total like 180. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because my musical influences then were 8 Ball and MJG, the Screwed Up Click from Houston. Yeah, I'm from Houston, so my influences, we have our own style of music, we have our own culture. So when it comes to music, I got them. Uh, 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 who is that? Tila, and I'm listening to that. The Hot Boys. I'm listening to Lil Wayne. Definitely listening to all the Hot Boys and Master P's. Ghetto Boys, Scarfaces. Like I'm listening to our cultural music. I didn't really get into East Coast music until like on the cool. I didn't really get into East Coast music. Nah, I never really got into East Coast
Are
music.
you
To be
serious?
fair, if it wasn't battle rap was the only thing that really got me into the East Coast because I saw that was where I saw it at, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
When I was online, closest thing for East Coast gonna be for me the Locks. Like, excuse me, Jadakiss. I won't say the Locks. Jadakiss is like
yeah,
my one. Jadakiss in my top five. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Jadakiss is like that dude for me. Joel Santana from Dipset and Jim Jones. Like those are like some of my favorite East Coasters. But Kanye West
Mhm.
was really like the one. Kanye West is actually who transitioned me from a quote unquote gangster rapper was what it was then. It wasn't trap, it was gangster rap back then. Like I was rapping about shit I ain't have nothing, I wasn't doing none of. You know what I mean? Like just for no reason. Like I'm like, and I listened to the crazy thing. I just found a tablet like that has like literally, I don't think there's a page missed. It's full of raps. I'm reading what I'm writing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not this person. I'm like, oh my God, if I tried to rewrap this, I don't even know who gonna want to hear this. Like, I'm like, man, where did you get that? Who wrote that? Like, get out of here. But
Oh,
man, but when it comes to like the artist that I am now today, the person who redirected me, man, like really redirected me and moved me to say, nah, man, you need to talk about something that people gonna need to hear. Like
mhm.
you need to have some consciousness to your music. Like you don't even, you know what I mean? Like give it something else. And
Yeah.
that was Ye. College Dropout.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know what I mean? Like when he dropped College Dropout, and I think his mixtape before that, I was listening to that. Like I really like was like, nah, I got to do something different.
Mhm.
And and that's what really changed and helped to evolve me into who I am now. So of course, I mean, I don't necessarily sound like Kanye or anything, but I definitely don't rap about what I was then. And
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful. Golly. But yeah,
So
those are my big influences when it comes to how did I get to this point, like musically. And
yeah, that
Andre, oh my God,
under
Andre
2000.
3000,
Yeah. Mhm.
Uncle Three Stacks.
Yeah. You know what? When I interviewed my first rapper that I interviewed on here, Eddie Knight from Arkansas, and I told him to drop. I'm gonna ask you to drop your five, but he dropped his five, but he's like definitely Andre 3000 is the GOAT. But I grew up in the 80s, so my arsenal is with the Big Daddy Kanes and them, you know what I mean? And of course, Wu-Tang
Yeah.
Clan, you name it. And then of course, I love Biggie. A lot of people don't put Biggie in their top five, but there's something
What?
about
Nah.
his cadence and his flow that I like. but I
I
understand.
just don't think some people even need to be mentioned. Like you, I mean, Pac and Biggie. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm both a Pac and a big fan. Like, I'm listening to Ready to Die and I'm listening to Machiavelli. Like, all in the same. I'm mixing them up. Whatever. Let's go. Like, you can't. You're not gonna make me choose. Like, I'm listening to both of them. Whatever. If
Mhm.
you're in my car, but I'm not. I don't even let them. I let that be. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah. I'm gonna give. I'm gonna talk about who I can talk about. You know what I mean? Like when I do mention mine, that's I always say that. Like Big and Pac don't even, come on, it's Big and Pac. Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
come on.
You know what's crazy though? You said so you started with the West and the South and not really the East, but your cadence and your flow and your voice, you remind me of an East Coast like New York rapper. That's just me saying this. And I'm like,
Yeah,
wow. But it's the influences is crazy though. Now,
yeah, man.
when did you start like writing like crazy writing? Actual like, okay, I gotta put this together, pen to pad. When did that happen? And does it come natural for you now in the in your years?
I don't think I really ever find it hard to find something to talk about. But I really just started writing when I got out of college, like when I left. So I want to say maybe in '07, '06, '08 is when I actually start writing. And I literally I have a backpack right now,
Yeah,
a backpack that has still those in it. Like I kept them. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but maybe some NFTs or something in it
yeah,
once
yeah.
we blow, but something like that. But yeah, man, I started writing and I think because I like writing in school,
Mm.
Nas was like, that's why. That's why. Now that I think, because I smoke so much, so I want to make sure I'm paying homage to all the right people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how like between Nas, Jadakiss, Joel Santana, you know
Mm.
what I mean? Like and Ye, like that's how I got. And Andre 3000,
Yeah.
come on, man, like that's how I got here.
Mm.
Like that's how I got here.
I know definitely when I do ask you for your top five, I have a feeling you drop Nas because I'm getting old. I forgot about my man Nas. He's in my top five. I believe that he's gonna be in the top five, man. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah.
So yeah, I always make sure to ask my guests if they don't do it now, just keep those books of lyrics, writing whatever you write down, document your whole your what am I trying to say, man?
Document your career,
Yeah,
document your path.
document your career, your
Yeah,
journey. Document your journey from
yes,
beginning to end.
sir.
Yeah, so when you look back at it. Um, so do you remember when you actually laid your first track down though?
Yeah, my first track ever in life was laid in Prairie View dorm, phase two, building 10.
Yeah. You know the details.
Bruh, phase two, building 10, my sophomore year in college.
Mm, okay.
The person that recorded me was G Hill, Gerald Hill. Uh, yeah, that was my very first time ever recording. We were on a computer with a bullshit microphone. I can't even remember the program because that wasn't my job then. I was the artist in my mind. I don't need to know all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Stupid. But but yeah, that was my first time ever recording. Like I know for sure he does not have the song or anything, but I do have some old stuff. I do have some old stuff. I just don't know exactly what's on the old stuff. It could be something from there, but I doubt it seriously. But they may have it. He may have it. We're definitely still in communication. Like he's still like family to me.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that was my very first time ever recording. My very first time ever recording seriously
Mhm.
was um, with Mac Time. His name is Mac Time. He was my first ever manager, music manager.
Mhm.
He found me out downtown. I had printed up a bunch of my own CDs, got them recorded, pressed up and ready, put them all in the CD case, the jewel cases I had. Uh, I'm walking around downtown Houston with a backpack full of them, just passing them out.
Mhm.
passing them out. And that's how he found. He said, "Man, you know why I called you?" He said, "I haven't listened to one song on this CD." He said, "You know why I called you?" I was like, "What's up?" He said, "I called you because you are out here by yourself with a backpack full of CDs,
Mhm.
passing them out to people like you just gonna make sure somebody hear your shit." I
Yeah.
said, "Exactly, man." I said, "I don't care. Like that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like they need to hear this. Like I get what on a stack of towers, you get 80, 100 CDs blank.
Yeah.
I'm putting. Oh, let's go, let's go. I'm writing on all of them with the permanent mark, my name, contact. Let's get it. Let's go. You know, you need to be able to find me." So I had that, and that was then like that was so with him. He even got me into Music World, which is Beyonce in them studio in downtown Houston. We
Okay.
recorded. Yeah,
Okay.
man. So he took me to that. And that was again while I was living in Houston. I left Houston in 2009, and when I moved to Dallas is when I started taking my music career like serious. Like, okay, damn it, I don't have those distractions no more. I'm out here, like, let's go. Like, come on, like, get your head on straight. If this is
Mhm.
what you really want to do, and let's move and let's bounce. So
Yeah. So now you're involved with everything now, the production value, the beats, everything now, right? Because that's one thing I respect about Kanye, man. When I saw Kanye's documentary, I actually interviewed Tari Torre because
oh wow.
I want to understand now because when I watched the video, I seen when she first met him. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I have to reach out to her to understand that interaction in full. And just to hear what she said, how he was a genius from then. And they
yeah.
were in studio and he was reciting lyrics from, I forgot the song now, but something that he was putting out. You know what I mean? And
Probably through the wire.
yeah, one of them. Yeah, so just to hear her talk about how talented he was in the studio and how his mind worked, it was just amazing to hear that story like firsthand. Now
Heck
for
yeah.
you, are you involved in everything? Because sometimes I look at your posts on IG and I'm like, they look so professional from the videography, everything. So you're involved with everything in that aspect now with your music, right?
Yeah, like I pretty much shoot most of my own videos now. A lot of my content I put together at this point. I pretty much put it together myself.
Mhm.
Uh, Clothing, like I do yeah. Like from that point, from that the technical aspect, yeah, I record myself. As far as I record my own music. Of my own videos. I edit my videos. I do have help. Don't get me wrong. Like some of my visuals, like video, like my big productions that I may have someone else shoot them just because most of my videos that I shoot, like for my Beat Jack series, I shoot those with like my phone. I use a S20. I use a S20, whatever it is, Samsung S20, one of the later ones. I use that to shoot with, and
Mhm.
that's been like clutch, like for me to be able to have that accessibility, and I can just set up anywhere and shoot. Like if I'm like I don't want to wait for nobody. Like I don't want to keep calling people like, hey bro, can you help me out today? Or hey, you got time to do this? And then they say yeah, and then I get up and it's time to do it, and they're not there.
Right.
Like, hey, where you go? You know, I don't know. So, but yeah, so it's helped. It's helped to be self-sufficient. Like really, it really has. Like some things I do have to reach out and get help on. Like now I'm looking for graphic designers. Like I'm looking for people to help me get some covers taken care of because I have like maybe at least 10 songs right now that I need covers for.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's not necessarily something that's my expertise. So I'll be reaching out and say, hey, like anybody can, you know, knock this out for me, or who can I get a good rate for this? If I need how many done for this amount, like, and I get a 3 for 5 or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know how y'all selling art these days, but can I get something about there? Like, I need that. So, you know,
So you found a way to use social media now because back in the days, you couldn't reach out to people all across the world now.
bad.
I think I was talking to another rapper, Ario, that was on my show, and he was saying someone in a different country was doing his work for him. And oh, okay. And I'm talking like production, art value, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so easy now, right?
Right. It
Mhm.
is. And man, I ran into a guy that I was working with that was doing some artwork for Sauce Walker now in Houston. I'm like, dude, like you and can I get some work? Like, let me get some work from you. You sitting here, I'm like, dang, I could have been hit you. I didn't know that, but it is, man. Like once you put yourself out there and people know what you're doing and they see what type of work you try to accomplish or get, you'll be able to find the right people. Like you can see they work, and people are putting it out there, so that makes it a lot easier too. It's like, okay, I need to see your references. Let me check your credentials. Let me see what you got going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when you can see that, that makes it a lot easier to be like, I don't want to deal with them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to deal with them.
Yo, you mentioned before how your rap style it changed, right? But
Yeah.
how does your music express your personal truth and experiences now as we talk right now?
I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, but I don't really rap or put out anything that I haven't, whether it be experienced or understand the influence of. Like, I just don't, I don't have anything to talk about that I haven't experienced. Like, I'm not about to rap about things. I'm not about to rap about selling drugs. I'm not about to rap about, you know, riding around banging all day because that's definitely not something I'm doing. Uh, so I write about the things that I think about. I think I write about things that I feel like can nourish can nourish as opposed to take away from or the damage or the hurt what we're trying to get accomplished, which is the growth. Like we want the knowledge, we want to put something in your mind. We don't want to have you ride around thinking you got to be dumb all day. Like, nah, come on, man. Like,
Yeah,
nah.
yeah. And what projects have you worked on? I was trying to find all your music, man. What have you put out on in the sphere, you know what I mean? Apple Music, iTunes, on
Yeah.
YouTube. What have you
If
put
you
out so we can know?
if you so I've actually jumped been a part of a lot of my music labels mixtape project series, which is where a lot of my work is. Not a lot of my work, but a lot of work is. My last project is titled "Lift Off No Landing." So if you type in "Lift Off No Landing" by Celebrity, that's gonna pull up. That's gonna be a full project that'll pull up for you.
Mhm.
Also, I've released singles which I've really decided to put more focus into. Um, I'll be releasing singles because I understand like not many people are necessarily just looking to tap in on a full body of work, and I don't want to drop a full body of work off on deaf ears. You know what I mean? Like I want to drop singles, and I want to see what the people like from me. I want to see what the reaction is when they get this sound. What's your reaction if I put this type of music out? Okay, well, who want this? And I'll get a chance to check my demographic. I'll get to check to see all who's where and what. And that's why. So I'll just be dropping singles out. So as they come out, I'll be doing the right promotion. So everyone will get a chance to see hey, okay, cool. Ooh, yeah, that was a dope, but I like what you did right there. Okay, when the next one coming out? And so just to keep the engagement going, because I have even on that side of my music, I'm a smoker. Like I love to smoke. So I
Yeah,
also have a whole nother branch of music that I'm creating for a whole nother brand that I'll be releasing soon. Like I'm wearing something of it now. You know what I mean? So it's like I have clothing that's gonna go with that whole thing. It's a whole umbrella. So that's something. So yeah, my music, I just want to make sure that it reaches the right ear and that it's actually feeding you something that can give you something to grow on.
yeah. And you don't want to box yourself in. That's what it sounds like too.
Never like I can sing on my hooks on my songs. I rap. I'm a poet. I like to write poetry. And I really just think music is poetry with a beat anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah, like I have no limitations when it comes to that. I'll have you'll hear something and be like, "That was you," and I'm
yeah.
like, "Yeah, that was me." That's like, man, that's crazy, bro. Like you get in there and get real comfortable. I'm like, yeah, like because I know what I know what the end game is for me. Like if I played it in my mind, I know what I want it to sound like, and I'm not gonna just let it not sound. I'm gonna work on it until it sounds like that.
Mhm. I gotta ask you about performances now. Because of what I see in your personality, it doesn't feel like to me that you would get nervous performing. But do you remember when you first performed on stage in front of a crowd? And how are the performances going right now?
Oh man, oh wow. Well, you know what? Because of my background in theater,
Yeah.
because of my background in theater, it wasn't that hard of a transition for me when it came to that. When it came to knowing my lines, going over my lyrics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was kind of already in that realm mentally, so it was like, okay, I write this on paper. I'm just not reading it from somebody else's perspective. Now I wrote it, so I should really know it at this point. Like I wrote this on the paper, so I should be able to get this on down. So I think it wasn't about being on stage. I think it was more about the content.
Mm.
And I think I referenced earlier, like the shit I was talking about then, like, okay, I might have been doing some of it, but a little bit was like so over exaggerated. It was like, all right, man, like now I gotta rap it, but then it gotta seem believable. So now I'm acting all over again. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to have to act through my raps. Like I was like, like so that might have been the one thing that had me a little like, all right, are they gonna believe this shit?
Yeah.
But now it's like the presence that I give or the presence that I bring is what's to be anticipated. Like I'm gonna get on stage. I'm not about to be hooping and hollering. You're not about to see 50 other people on stage with me. You know what I mean? Like I'm about to give you a show, a presentation, a good show. You're gonna like what you hear. I'm gonna be able to engage with you. We're gonna have conversations through we're gonna work a little bit. So I'm not just gonna get up there and have my word and it's not gonna be karaoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be on that rap. You're gonna hear me. You're not gonna hear the whole song behind me. We just, that's I'm not gonna do that.
Mhm.
I want people to understand. Like I'm gonna come and provide you a show. Like you're not just gonna be able to. You're not gonna wish that you would have just sat in the car and turned the radio on and heard my songs playing. Like he just walked back and forth on the stage and yeah. Okay. He just saying the words. Like I could have done this myself. I paid for this. Like yeah, you paid for that, fam. But
Yo, that's one thing I like about Busta Rhymes. Just his presence on stage, it just gets the crowd hype, man.
you
You know what I
know it. You
mean?
know it.
So
He's
I
a
like
performer.
this the way you talked about everything when you were younger, your experiences, even the family experiences, going to school, drama, teaching,
Man,
writing. Now I want to know what do you believe is the social and cultural significance of rap in music today?
it's the vibration.
Mm. Wavy Spice said the same thing.
It's the vibration, man. Like you can feel it.
Mm.
You can feel the resistance. You can feel the persistence of it. Like you can you it's just where we are. Like it's I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's just where we are, unfortunately, man. Like and I don't like it. I like the uh because I don't like to say I don't like something. That's not fair. Um, but I just feel like I don't want to feel like that old man looking down at these kids like I ain't have a past.
Mm.
And so I do appreciate the artistry of it, the expression. I appreciate that because it's just a form of expression. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how some and without being cognitive, that's how they're looking at it.
Mm.
I'm just expressing,
Yeah.
even though it may be a little raw, but this is me expressing. You know what I mean? Like I don't get why you would like that's like telling me if I was a painter or if these weren't words, this was art on a wall. You mean to tell me my art wouldn't be able to hang in here with this art
Mm.
just because my art is a little rougher around the edges? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not how we get to play that. So I feel like I appreciate the expression in its rawness. I'm just going to be very grateful when they see how it impacted and now how they want to, you know what I mean? Like I want them to see how the seeds that they planted, you know what I mean,
Mm.
flourished. And,
Right.
and now I'm waiting on that part. Like I'm not here waiting to say I told you so. I'm just I'm grateful that they have the chance to express themselves, man, and I just hope that they see it.
Mm.
I guess that's what I'll say. I hope they see it. I don't want to tell them to stop. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I hope they see it. I hope they see it.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. I've seen rap change over the years. And I wasn't happy with some of the music that came out. I don't follow rap, hip hop as much as I did when I was younger, or even, in my
Mhm.
30s. But I seen a shift that I wasn't happy with. But there's always talent out there. There's young talent, there's unsigned talent, there's unknown talent. And I feel that IG has brought me to people like you and the four artists that I had on the show. It's like it's still out there. It's still out there.
Oh, oh,
Mhm.
definitely. It's just that we don't we we're up against the machine, man.
Mhm.
We're up against the machine, man, and and the unfortunate thing at this time, social media is the gift and the curse, if that makes sense, because it gives you the gift of exposure, but it also gives the curse of exposing stuff that don't need to be exposed.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like I I'm a very like I'm very vocal, verbal about this. I don't feel like if you I really don't think live or streaming capability should be provided to someone who's not providing a form of service or promoting some form of a brand or you know what I mean, like I don't I think just as a regular everyday member person you shouldn't have that ability to just go live,
I get it. Yep. Hmm.
because that's just like everyone just having now the capability to just be an artist or be a rapper.
Hmm.
It saturates the quality
Hmm.
of the whole game. Like it just takes away from it. Like if you didn't, if when you scroll through your social media and you didn't see every random Joe Blow and Jane, you would value the things that you did see, because it will more than likely be someone or something showing you something that, oh dang, that's cool, that's dope. You're like, oh shoot, it's such and such.
Yeah.
Because now it's like it's converted and transitioned the game into no longer it being a popularity I mean, no longer a talent show, it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
So it ain't even about whether or not you good no more. It's about, do people come and watch you for doing whatever, like
Right.
whatever. Like it ain't even got to be nothing of substance. It's just, are they coming to watch you? Stand, come in front of the screen, turn around sideways or turn backwards to the camera and jump up and down a little bit, and then boom, you got 1 million followers, and
Yeah.
now you somebody important because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And
It,
now not only you good, now you're only doing it if other people see that you got that from just doing that. Oh well, I'm about to do this,
I'm about to do this. Yeah.
and now we're about to really go crazy.
Yeah.
And so
It,
I just think that that shouldn't even be a thing for people. Like I don't like that. Like I don't like that they've given that type of tool to people who don't not necessarily need it, but they don't have value for that.
mhm.
Like you mean to tell me, and this is not me against the women or anything, but you mean to tell me if you work at a strip club, why wouldn't you make them wait till they get to the strip club?
Yeah. That's it.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like why even they know, you know, that go
This
the
is
whole cow being given away. I mean, all the milk being given away. We just overlooking the cow now because we getting all the milk we need.
Yeah, this is what
So
happens. So it's a blessing and a curse. Everything when we think of everything that's going on today with social media. So like when OnlyFans came out, that's the thing. If you needed to see a girl, woman undress, you'd have to go to one of those clubs. But now you can get everything on the internet, easy access, all these things. It dilutes
yeah,
it. And when we talk
it
about music,
totally does.
that I'm glad you brought up this point because music it got diluted. But even with Hollywood, if you think about a quote unquote star, we used to see someone that was famous that we liked from a movie or a TV show in a magazine one time. Oh, they're in there. And then next month they're in there again. Now you're telling me we just go on their Instagram and you just keep scrolling. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing this. It doesn't mean anything anymore. It lost
Values
value now, right?
The value is gone.
The value's
Yes.
gone.
And
Yeah.
people are not buying. That's I think I said this before, man. People are not buying into like music and shit. They buying into the person now because they can see that person.
Right.
they can see that person and they're like, oh, bet I can go to their gram if they can see if they're going live or where they're gonna be at or what they did yesterday or if they drop something off on their story or so yes, it is no longer a need to just go to the movies
Mm-hmm.
or go, to go. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Now, your name. So when I got introduced to you from Wavy Spice '01, I looked at your page and then it said, I am celebrity IG. And when we started this conversation, I'm calling you celebrity. Let the people know that don't know you about your name and how everything came together.
Okay. So the celebrity part, I man, originally as an artist, I was going by Lucky Luciano. Uh, man, I was just on some other stuff, man. Just just forget my past, man. I've already lived it, so it's over. but uh, but we a good my college roommate, shout out Pittsburgh. Um, he's from a small town in Texas called Pittsburgh, Texas. I'm from Houston, Texas. So we're like what the third, fourth largest, considered one of the third or fourth largest cities in America.
Mm.
He's literally from a small town in Texas called Pittsburgh, Texas. Trust me, it ain't big, brother. It's not big, brother.
Yeah.
Uh, but he ends up being like when I first got to Prairie View, I had a roommate. He was never in the room. Like he was never in the room. Never, 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 never. He had this girlfriend that stayed in the big apartment, so he would always go there.
Mm.
So I guess him and whoever the dorm manager or whatever was like, hey man, like you never here. Like you may as well get that room to somebody who needs it. And so come back from Christmas break, I got a whole new roommate. I'm like, man, what the hell?
Yeah.
And it's him, like, it's Pittsburgh. And so, we get cool, we have conversations. So, he's like, man. And so while we're rooming, coming up the following summer, we've had conversations. He's like, man, I've never been to Houston before. I'm like, what? That's crazy. And
Mm.
so I say, man, well, you got to come to the H with me. Like, come stay in Houston for the summer. We're gonna hang out and kick it. We're gonna chill. We're gonna go do whatever. We're gonna turn up. So
Yeah.
he's like, I bet. So he came and stayed with me. Next summer, I went and stayed in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? And so while we in Pittsburgh, now while we're in Houston, mind you, again, like when I was in high school, we was throwing parties. So I'm pretty popular in Houston. Like I wasn't like a nobody, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I could go to the clubs and be like, hey, what's up? Oh, Lucky, what's up? What's up? That's Lucky. And so we go to Pittsburgh for the summer. We go to this mall out by Pittsburgh, and the city is Longview, Texas. So we go to Longview Mall.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go to the mall in Longview, and while we walking in the mall, somebody yells my name. And he say, "Man, it's crazy." We with his people at this point because I'm not from there, so we go back to his hometown. So it's me, it's him, and all his people, and I'm the I'm the new guy, like I'm the visitor. So they
Yeah.
showing me around, getting me familiar, like what's up, what's up, what's up, and so somebody says my name, and he said, "Man, y'all, this is crazy. I promise y'all, I don't care where we go, somebody know this man." Like this, I swear, like no matter where we go, like we done been this place, we done been over here, we done been over there. Like and every time we go, somebody know him. And he said, man, this I'm telling y'all, he for real, like he really like some kind of celebrity or something. And ever since then, that's how celebrity. But I say, you know what? I'm gonna use that. I'm changing my like I'm celebrity is gonna be my name. So that's how I got to celebrity. Now when people speak on consciousness and being woke and all those types of things. Now, once I guess we'll say I got woke is where the I came in and I am, and it becomes a form of affirmation for me. So I am celebrity, like I am celebrity. Hold up, like that's me, like I am king, I am. I'm speaking these types of things into my life. Like this is who I am. I'm not just thinking about becoming this person. I am this person. And so that's how that became about. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna own that. And
Mm.
so now I Am Celebrity is I Am Celebrity LLC. You can go to my website, www.iamcelebrity.com.
Yeah.
My cash, all the way down to my cash app. I Am Celebrity. You know what I mean? Please donate when you can or feel like you want to. But I accept all donations, big and small. But yeah. So now I Am Celebrity is the brand. Like that's the brand.
Mm. I'm liking it. Um, Now, I was gonna say, upcoming projects. What do you have coming up so people know anyone listening or watching to this podcast?
Absolutely. So I have an upcoming shoot. I want to say we scheduled it for the 15th of July to one of my songs off of my project Lift Off No Landing titled I Know. So if you go to my project titled EYE I Know KNOW,
Yeah.
I Know is the title of the track. So tap in with that. If you hear it, you're like, oh, this is gonna be a nice one. So yes, it's gonna be a nice one. I have a couple of singles that I'll be releasing. One is Fight the Power. It has a real dope man. I probably should have sent you that so you can play it. But Fight the Power is the name of that song. Then I have another song that'll follow that. If not, I haven't decided the order. In Your City. And then I also have, of course, I think I was mentioning I have a Swamp project coming out. It's titled Swamp.
Mm.
SWAMP. Swamp. The acronym for me is going to be Smoking with All My Partners.
Okay. All
You
right.
know what I mean? So and so now the Smoking with All My Partners, that's actually going to be a smokumentary, and it's actually a clothing line. So I'm not sure if y'all can see this
Yeah.
or anything, but
You were saying you're wearing. Okay. Yeah.
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 So
Mhm.
the brand itself, you know how Lacoste has the alligator and Polo has the man on the horse, and you
Yeah.
know somebody else has some. So what I've done was I've taken like creatures that animals like the owl, the alligator, the snake, the turtle. I got a mosquito, I got a moon, and so if you get a chance, you'll see that these animals all have a spliff in their mouth,
Yeah.
smoking, and their eyes are red. And so what I'm, yeah, like it's pretty dope. I'm gonna send you a picture.
All right.
But so now what I'm doing, I'm creating my own sophisticated smokers brand. Like you know how I can't remember the name, but I don't want to plug them. They're not plugging me.
Okay.
But yeah, so it'll be a sophisticated smokers brand for me. So you'll have your polos, and I'm not looking to do any type of like, not to say hood, but I don't want to dumb my product down to just something like some t-shirts or something. So no, it's gonna be like Ralph Lauren. Like you're gonna be able to find your polos, your dad hats, your socks, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna be good with it. It's gonna be a whole brand. So and again, they'll be in polos, a little small polo tees with the polo, you know, with your logo thing right here. And so it'll be dope like that. So I have that brand coming out. That's all clothing and music. So it'll be a part of a full project, and that'll be releasing pretty soon. So that's something that I'm just doing some of the back end, you know, business, legal, owning the name, and all that other good
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm just waiting on all that to happen. But definitely continue to look out for all the singles that I'll be dropping, and of course, visit my website www.iamcelebrity. That's EYEAMcelebrity.com. So make sure you go visit me there for updated information and all of my social media platforms.
Sweet. So you got the merch, product, the music, everything. I gotta ask you this last question before we get into the donation that I do every episode. What does
Uh,
success mean to you, man?
hmm. Success is for me gonna be is gonna be freedom. Freedom to, you know, of course, rise with the blessing, but to be free to do what I want to do. And I'm not even saying just what money can buy me. Uh, just to do what I want to do and feel good about it and not feel bad or feel bad that someone else is uncomfortable in my life. Like I want to be able to be just as free to do what I want to do, be who I want to be, you know, hang out where I want to hang out and not feel judgment, not care about the judgment, and be free of opinions, be free of ill feelings, be free of just all the things that normally would shackle one, whether it be mentally, physically, spiritually. You know, I just want to be free, man. Like that's success for me. Like freedom is success.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing everything you shared today. Come to the point in the interview where I'm going to ask you one of two questions. So you're either
Okay.
going to choose the Blue Jays or the Raptors.
Uh, uh, I like the. We're gonna go with the Raptors, man. We're gonna go with the Raptors because I like Vince Carter.
All right. Here we
I
go.
think he played for them. I'm not a big
Yeah,
sports fan, but I think he played for them.
you're right. You're right. He was one of our stars back in the days.
Bet. Okay, good.
All right. What is one of the most memorable moments of your life?
Meeting Andre 3000 every time. I don't care what the fuck it is. Every time somebody asks me, that's gonna always be my answer.
Wow. I
Yep.
I did not know you met him. Give me a little insight on this. How did it happen?
By accident,
Really?
like a motherfucker. I
Mm,
mean it, like big accident. Because I was on my way to the Rolling Loud show because I was performing,
mhm,
and I'm in the airport, and I am on my way. I missed the flight. I missed the flight,
mhm,
and so in missing the flight, I'm walking back from the terminal, and I stop at 7-Eleven. And as I'm coming out of 7-Eleven, I'm walking. I'm just kind of just walking, talking, walking. And I look over to the left, and he's sitting on the, like, of course, you know, they have the rows of benches in the airports, and his is on the wall. So he's sitting on the wall side, and he
mhm.
has his back against the wall seat. His foot is propped up on his bag, and he's just on his phone scrolling. And I look over, and I had to double take. And I was
Oh.
like, I know I'm not fucking tripping. I know I'm not fucking like man, look, I cursed at I said, I know I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
I know this is not this moment. Man, I look over one more time because I'm high, but I'm like, I can't be that high. I'm not. And so I look and I was like, man, it's him. Oh man, it's him, yo. Man, when I tell you I walk over there, he by himself, nobody's like, and nobody's even over there. Like he literally went over there, like, bet nobody over here. I can chill right here. I
Yeah.
know it. I go over there, man, and I went over there. I confirmed. And I was like, man, for like at least 3 seconds, bro, I was stuck.
Wow.
For 3 seconds fully, I know I was stuck, and I know he was like, "Hey, brother, how you doing, man?" And I was like, and I cried.
What?
I cried, bro.
Wow.
100. I cried, man. I cried, and I told him how much of an inspiration he has been. I told him what he did for me musically. I make bracelets, and so I gave him one. I gave him the one that I had.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, come on, man, let's take a picture. And so I got like a couple pictures with him, and I had a pair of Vans in my bag.
Mhm.
I had bought a pair of Vans I really like. I was like, man, I love these hoes. I love these hoes. Uh, and I took them out of my bag, and he autographed them for me. He didn't want to, but
Yeah.
I was like, man, you got to sign something for me. And I didn't have anything. I didn't want him to sign like a brochure or sign some
Yeah.
shit I got from 7-Eleven. I was like, nah, I need something. Like, and I pulled my shoe out of my bag, and he's like, nah, man, I can't. Nah, man, these your shoes, man. I can't sign your shoe, bro. He said, I can't. I say, nah, sign these. I'm never wearing them again. Don't even worry about it, please. And so
Wow.
he signed the inside of the sole, and he signed the outside sole. I mean, he signed the inside of the shoe, and then he signed the outside sole of the shoe. And so I still have those shoes literally in my room somewhere tucked away. And I got the picture still in my phone, so I'm gonna make sure I print that out and do like a shadow box or something. But yeah, like that was my moment.
That's
Like that was my
crazy.
moment.
Do you have it to send to me or no? Do you have it like
I have
available?
it. I'm never sending it.
Oh, you're never sending it. Wow.
Like I've shown like I can show it to you. I'll show it to you for sure.
Mhm.
But I've never sent it. I'm like it's my thing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Before you do the balloons, I do want to ask you because I don't ask every guest this, but I do want
Okay.
to ask because you seem like you would give some good insight. Um, I always like to ask, there are some people that are ready to give up on life, ready to give up on their dream. And I like to know from people that are doing things that are motivated. I know a lot of my guests had challenges and they persevere through them. But is there any advice you could give to someone that's listening or watching that's on that brink to give up on their dream?
Everybody always is. Everybody is always on the brink of giving up right before success breaks. Just you can't like to I think a good way to say this is, man, to be an artist, like to be a creative, to be in this lane, you got to be fucking psychotic. because you have to believe something that nobody else believes. Like you gotta really believe, like you've literally formatted this life in your mind that only you can see. You can tell people about it, but only you can see it. And you mean you have to make people believe that you're gonna get it. And not only that, I tell a person even about whether it's a lie or truth, before you say it, believe it or not, within you, you you've made yourself believe it, or you've made it believable to yourself to be able to articulate that. So the thing is, you have to be a crazy person to even want to do this, because you have to have told yourself that this is something that I know for sure can happen, even when you've seen it damn near not be a possibility. The best advice I think I can give a person in that mind frame is just don't stop. America was an idea. America didn't just we no, people didn't just run up on America. Somebody looked at a dry ass piece of land and said, "This is what I think this could be. I'm gonna make this be this." And now look at us. So if something just as small as your psychotic thought, if you actually do the work, like just focus on that. You can have that. Like you can have that.
Whoa. Thank you. Sometimes I need to hear this myself, man. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for
Oh
sharing.
man, for sure. Like
Mm.
for sure, for sure. Because I have to remind myself I'm just crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like it's nobody's fault that it's not your fault that they don't see your psychotic view.
Mm.
Like you know what I mean? Like you just it's not always the case. It's not always the case, man.
See, you know, I've seen it personally. Um, People that I know that became successful and however we define it, but I
Yeah.
see it. And I see it in documentaries and it's just what you said, man. And the one that comes to mind, because we talked about him so much, is Kanye. So when I seen Kanye's documentary, I was like, man, I was so inspired by it because he documented from nothing to what he is now. And just to see him walk up in studios and give people his CD at the time and say, like he knew what he wanted. He put it out there. And that word psychotic, I know what you mean, man. Hmm.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Okay.
It's doing the same thing. You know how they define it, it's just doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome.
Yeah.
That's why I say that, because we doing this, like we may not be doing the exact same thing over and over. We're just finding different ways to do the exact same thing,
Right.
but we're doing the same thing, just finding different ways to do it, just until it work, until we
Mhm.
hit that right, until we hit that right point in the algorithm.
Yeah. Celebrity, thank you for doing this. Thank you for sharing. You let
Oh man,
people know how to find you. Congratulations on your music, your
oh, thank
merch,
you.
everything that you're doing. Now, this is for me to donate to one of three charities. So for season 7, it's Kawartha Lakes Animals Wellness Society. So I love doing things for animals. Make a Wish
Oh,
Foundation for kids. And then also these 4 little boys that I had on my show before, the Fundraiser Warriors, they raise money for different charities, like sick kids down here in Toronto. So
ah,
by my hands, tell me which you want me to pop. The right, the middle, or my left.
uh, let's go with the left.
Right.
Yeah,
7, episode
let's see.
5. Star Scorpio would be donating to.
Let's see, y'all. Let's see, y'all.
Oh my gosh. Back to back. You can't see it, but these are the 4 little boys.
Those are the kids, right?
Yeah, the fundraiser.
Ah,
Great, great, great. They were picked last episode
yeah.
as well.
I love it.
Mhm. All right, celebrity. I know you plugged some stuff, but before we go, let the people know again where they can find you: IG, Facebook, YouTube. Let it go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So again, y'all, I am Celebrity, and this is We Have Liftoff. I can be found on all social media platforms at I Am Celebrity. That's EYEAM Celebrity. That's I Am Celebrity. EYEAM Celebrity. On all social media platforms, my website, www.iamcelebrity.com. All the way down to my Cash App. Again, iamcelebrity.com. Cash App, iamcelebrity.com. But no, man, thank you so much, Star. Thank you so much, Star, bro. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed myself today.
This was beautiful. All right, Real Talk with Star Scorpio season 7, and we out.
Lift out.